The bus stop had been abandoned for years, but every night, at exactly 11:47 p.m., a bus still arrived. No one knew where it came from, and no one who boarded it was ever seen again. It started with a college student named Bryan. Bryan was 19, quiet, slim, the kind of person who preferred walking home alone after late classes. His town was peaceful, the kind of place where nothing strange ever happened. Until one night. While walking past the old road near the forest, Bryan noticed something strange. A bus stop. He slowed down. He was sure it hadn't been there before. The sign was rusted. The bench looked decades old. Bryan checked his phone. 11:46 p.m. Just then, he heard an engine in the distance. Out of the darkness, a bus slowly appeared. Its headlights flickered like dying candles. The bus stopped in front of him with a long hiss. The doors opened. Inside sat a driver in a dark uniform and cap. Behind him were several passengers. They were perfectly still. None of them spoke. None of them moved. Bryan stepped closer. "Does this bus go downtown?" The driver slowly turned his head. His voice was deep, hollow. "Anywhere you want to go." Bryan laughed nervously and stepped inside. The doors slammed shut. The bus began moving. Bryan sat near the back, glancing around the silent interior. The air inside felt freezing. A few minutes later, he looked out the window and froze. The town was gone. Outside, there was only endless forest. Bryan stood up. "Hey, I think you missed my stop." The driver didn't respond. Then the bus passed under a streetlight. For 1 second, the passengers were illuminated. Their faces were pale, gray, lifeless, and their eyes were wide open. But they weren't looking forward. They were all looking at him. A voice came from the seat beside him. "You shouldn't have boarded." Bryan turned. The woman beside him tilted her head. Her eyes were completely black. "This bus only stops once." Bryan rushed toward the driver. "Stop the bus!" The driver looked into the mirror above the windshield. Bryan saw his face, or what should have been a face. There were no eyes, no mouth, no nose, just smooth, empty skin. The driver slowly pointed ahead. The road ended at a massive black tunnel. Behind Bryan, the passengers began whispering, "We waited for you. You belong here now." Bryan smashed the emergency window and jumped from the moving bus. The next morning, he woke up in a hospital. A truck driver had found him on the road. When Bryan told the police about the bus, they looked confused. "There hasn't been a bus route there in 30 years, one officer said. Bryan felt cold. What happened 30 years ago? The officer checked his notes. A bus crashed into the tunnel. No survivors. Bryan swallowed. What time did it happen? 11:47 p.m. Bryan never walked that road again. But sometimes, late at night, drivers passing the forest say they see something strange. A rusted bus stop, and at 11:47 p.m., a bus arrives, doors opening, waiting for its next passenger.